Just please make it stop. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and when will it end? It has felt like ever since opening day, and really honestly before opening day, we have just been crushed day after day by injury. It started with Lucas Giolito, then we got a little bit of a break, then it became Trevor Story, and that just flat out opened up the dam, it feels like. And now it feels like every single day we are getting more information about someone else who's joining the ever-growing list of Red Sox injured players, because today we got some information that another major Red Sox player will not be making their next couple of starts and will be on the IL for a little bit. So what we are going to do in the second video today is we are going to do what we've been doing basically every day since the beginning of the season, and that is break down the latest Red Sox injury news, talk about who got injured, what their injury is, how long they're going to be out for, and of course, how all of this is going to affect the 2024 season. But before we get into that, just a heads up, we are going to be live tonight on this channel talking about the latest injury, talking about the latest Red Sox news, and of course, watching them take on the Cleveland Guardians. That all starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So the latest player joining the ever-growing list that is the Red Sox injured list right now is, of course, Brayan Bello. We probably all should have expected this to be coming with the way the Red Sox season is going, because why wouldn't it be Brayan Bello, right? It's not like Red Sox fans enjoy watching him or anything. That would be absolutely nuts. The Red Sox just a couple of hours ago announced that he will be joining the 15-day IL with what they are calling is right lat tightness. Now, we're not entirely sure what that exactly means at this moment. I'm recording this basically right after the news broke, so I'm assuming we'll have some more information by the time we go live tonight at 6 p.m. But for right now, the only real tidbit of information we have to go off of as to what the severity of the injury is from Alex Cora, who just happened to be on WEEI when the news broke. He was asked about the injury, and he basically said that they believe Bello will be back right after those 15 days are up. Because it is retroactive to April 1st, that would put him due back in the Red Sox rotation on the 6th of May. Now, that's not really a ton of time in the grand scheme of things. For Bello as a starter, he obviously doesn't play every day, so he's not going to be missing 15 games. Instead, he's going to be missing 3 starts. He obviously can't make his start tomorrow, and then he would make one the week after, and then one more on the 5th if he were to continue with this schedule. So again, 3 starts, really not that big of a deal, but when you combine that with everything else going on with the Boston Red Sox, even 15 days feels like an absolutely massive blow. If you take a look at what their rotation was supposed to look like coming into 2024 and go down the list, Lucas Giolito, he's not pitching at all this year. Nick Pivetta, who, by the way, Alex Cora in the same interview mentioned he should be possibly starting rehab assignment within the next couple of days, so hopefully he's close to coming back. I would assume he's going to be back before Brayan Bello is back. Garrett Whitlock, who again we got another update on. He's back in Boston right now, still working on some things. No real timetable for that yet. And now Brayan Bello. What you're looking at right now is 2 out of the 6 possible players that could have been in this rotation. That is absolute nonsense. And obviously, losing Brayan Bello alone, regardless of what's going on with everyone else, is a big hit in his own. Compared to the rest of this rotation, he got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but compared to baseball in general, he's been absolutely killing it. So far this year, he has a 3.04 ERA with a 4.06 FIP. That is a little bit higher and definitely a cause for a slight concern, but a lot of that had to do with the home runs he's given up, which has raised that FIP a bit. His WHIP is sitting at 1.050, which is really solid, and his strikeouts and walks per 9 were the best of his career so far, sitting at 8.8 strikeouts per every 9 inning and 2.4 walks per every 9 inning. I don't know how the hell the Red Sox are expected to stay afloat here. Their biggest strength this season, and really the main reason why this team is even above 500 to begin with, is their starting pitching. It still is their starting pitching, but it's hard to call it the strength of the team when they only have 2 starters to throw out there every day. Basically, this rotation is down to just Cutter Crawford and Tanner Houck for the time being, and that's flat out lunacy. Now, the Red Sox did make a corresponding roster move in order to try and supplement the loss loss of Brayan Bello, and that was calling up familiar face and my friend on Twitter, Zach Kelly, who has been absolutely killing it in Worcester so far this season. We made a whole video about why he should be called up. Unfortunately, this isn't exactly the best scenario in which he's being called up, but I am excited to see him up here. He deserved another shot at the major league level. He deserves a shot to make a mark on this team, and he's been performing well in Worcester enough where he got that chance. Again, it falls under really crappy circumstances, but I am rooting for Zach Kelly to succeed at the major league level, so hopefully he can at least give us some supplementation for this loss of Brayan Bello. But to be honest with you, again, I don't know how the Red Sox stay afloat here. We're basically going right back to where the Red Sox were in July of 2023, where every other game was an opener. That's essentially where the Red Sox are at right now. They're going to need really big innings from Josh Winkowski, Cooper Criswell, Chase Anderson as guys who can eat multiple bulk innings in order to get this team through. The only difference between this year and last year is that last year the Red Sox offense was the hottest it was coming into that period where they just didn't have any starting pitching. This year, the Red Sox offense, while they do hit a lot of home runs, which is going to be hindered a bit by the fact that Tristan Casas is out for a while, everything else, they're towards the bottom of the league. This offense just right now isn't potent enough to carry this pitching staff, and that's my main concern with all of this. Last year, they were able to stay afloat because of their offense. I don't know if they're going to be able to do the same with this offense in 2024, and a lot of that has to do with injuries over there as well. This would be a much different conversation had the Red Sox had Tristan Casas and Trevor Story in the everyday lineup, or a healthy Rafael Devers, or Tyler O'Neill, who isn't coming back from being concussed. It would be a much different story, but unfortunately, it's not. You got guys in there every day who normally should never be. Pablo Reyes, Bobby Dahlbeck, David Hamilton are everyday regulars on this team, and it's mainly due to injury, and it's just none of this makes sense to me. I am so goddamn done with this season. It's unbelievable. The whole point of this year was to watch this team develop into cornerstone players, right? These Tristan Casas, these Brayan Bellos, Jaron Arans, Cedon Rafaelas, these guys who are going to be a major part of the next great Red Sox team. This was the year we watched them develop. Maybe they surprised a lot of people. They had the talent to do that, and all of that has been stripped from us as fans basically since day one. It's absolutely crazy. It's making this team much harder to watch because the people that you want to root for can't even be out there because they've been sidelined with injuries. Again, it's just a couple of weeks, Corbin. They'll get through it. It'll be fine, and you're probably right, they will, but it's the point of injury on top of injury on top of injury on top of injury that's driving me absolutely crazy, and you have to assume it's driving people in this clubhouse crazy as well. It's a revolving door right now. How are they supposed to feel good about themselves when in the last 48 hours you lose Tristan Casas, your star first baseman for most of the season, and then immediately lose your young stud starting pitcher who just got an extension in Brayan Bello? On top of that, your guys are coming in, guys are coming out. There's no real team consistency here. It's got to be hard for them to play through this. It's just unbelievably frustrating right now. I don't know how many more of these injuries I can take mentally. This team is driving me literally crazy. It's destroying my mental health every day looking at this injured list and saying, oh, there's a star player that we should be watching. Oh, there's another one we should be watching, right? It is driving me insane. It's got to be driving you guys insane as well. Again, there is good news here, and that is that it's probably not going to be something that shelves Bello for a very long period of time. It's probably only going to be a couple of weeks, which is absolutely fantastic, and you are starting to get reinforcements. Nick Pivetta is starting to come back. Whitlock probably isn't too far behind him. We aren't going to be having to deal with this injury crisis in the rotation for very long. I'm just really concerned as to what this team looks like over the next week, 2 weeks, whatever it takes for these guys to get back, whether or not that damage that's going to cause is going to be reversible or not. I am absolutely terrified as to what we are going to see from the Boston Red Sox over the next couple of weeks, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? I mean, none of you guys could be happy right now. It feels like this team is cursed. Do you think it's cursed? Do you think it's something else? Is it a trainer issue? Is it time to start talking about the strength and conditioning coaches for the Boston Red Sox? Let me know all your thoughts on the latest of a long line of injuries for the Boston Red Sox in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, live tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, talking about this, talking about Casas, talking about the game, of course, as it's going to be going on while we're live, talking about everything Sox related, 6 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.